Okay, we got Ninja Gaiden 4, the final preview, a pure action dream. IGN. Okay, what's going on? We got another trailer from this one? Jesus.
Let me take you on a quick journey back
to
the past for a second. It's the early 2000s. Years before a little game called Dark Souls would forever change the landscape of the action and action RPG genre.
Yeah.
It was a time mostly without stamina bars, a time when style, spectacle, and creative expression of combat ruled above all else.
Oh yeah, like it's kind of hard to compare like Souls-likes to like these combo action games where you just have like multiple moves that are supposed to chain into each other. Like, and almost no enemies have like any like hyper armor or poise or whatever. It's two different like game styles, I think. I mean, me personally, I think I prefer the combo one because it's just cooler, man.
A time when games like God of War 1 and 2, Devil May Cry 1 and 3, and God Hand blazed the trail for others to follow. But if you ask me, there was one game that stood above all of them, a masterclass of action design that challenged and thrilled the teenage me with aggressive enemy AI, gorgeous visuals, and the most dazzling combat I had ever seen. That game was Ninja Gaiden, and later Ninja Gaiden Black. I made a whole feature on why I think Ninja Gaiden is the pinnacle of the action genre, so I won't spend too much time on that here. But the point of all this preamble...
Ninja Gaiden Black is the pinnacle? Whatever happened to DMC? DMC 5? What?
...is to say that my expectations coming into Ninja Gaiden 4 were massive. And yet, somehow, based on the 4 chapters of this preview build, it's living up to them. This is exactly what I've always wanted a modern Ninja Gaiden game to be.
Yazuna. Oh. Ooh. Damn,
Let's
dude.
get one thing out of the way first.
While
this is co-developed by Platinum Games, make no mistake, this feels like Team Ninja's Ninja Gaiden through and through, regardless of whether you're playing as Ryu Hayabusa or newcomer Yakumo. There's no split of Yakumo's levels feeling like a Platinum Games protagonist, and Ryu's feeling like traditional Ninja Gaiden. The two characters do have distinct playstyles and movesets, but you'll be doing a lot of the same tricks with both characters.
I mean... I haven't even seen like the combo list for either of these games or whatever, but hopefully they took a page out of DMC5 because of all the visually different moves in DMC5, you as a player, like if you look at the list, it's almost one for one the same buttons for every character, almost. So that's why when you go to pick a new character, it's easy to like just fit in. It's like, oh, I already like mechanically, mentally know this button pattern. Just do it again. It just gives me a different look or whatever. That's why it looks freaking awesome.
From Izuna drops.
Oh, Izuna
throws. To quick charge ultimate attacks, etc.
Oh.
Where Platinum's influence is true.
What the? What is this? Is this like Sonic? We're just grinding and shit. We got our soaps on, our ninja soaps.
Really felt is in the absolutely
the wall
wild
runs.
Segments in between bouts of combat. One level
that's
felt like
fucking
a
sick.
3D Sonic stage as I had to bounce between physics-defying rails while avoiding getting shot by a helicopter, using my grappling hook to pull myself from rail to wall.
See, some people would look at this and be like, "Oh, that's just gimmicky. That's just cheesy." Bro, I like this shit. Give me the gimmicks. Give me the cheese. Just let me look cool.
Back to rail, finishing off with a dramatic leap into an assassination
Kill that guy.
from above to start the next combat encounter. It was just one of the many times I grinned like a giddy little child, laughing out loud and shouting, "That was so sick!"
Oh,
when it
yeah.
comes to the fundamentals of combat, Ninja Gaiden 4 feels like an even better version of Ninja Gaiden 2.
Oh.
You've got light attacks, heavy attacks, shurikens, and of course the signature flying swallow attack that allows you to quickly dash towards an enemy out of a jump and potentially slice their head off with just a single strike.
That's a dive kick.
New to Ninja Gaiden 4 is a powered up form for both Yakumo and Ryu, accessed by holding down the left trigger that allows them to use slower but much harder hitting attacks. Powered by a meter that is filled primarily by landing hits with your base form and by using obliteration techniques on dismembered foes.
Obliteration.
You'll need to use this form primarily to break through an enemy's guard once they start blocking your standard attacks. or to guard against one of the many especially powerful red glowing attacks that many larger enemies and bosses like to use. Yakumo's Blood Raven form allows him to use a giant blood sword that extends and allows for some really cool looking attacks that hit a wide area.
Bro, also, I can't wait to see like some of the fan art for this shit. Like, you could like almost seemingly pause this shit and just have like a killer screenshot almost.
While Ryu's Gleam form allows him to use the kinds of multi-hitting high-speed sword slashes that you would normally get from charging up an ultimate technique. But it's the small touches and improvements that really made me fall in love with Ninja Gaiden 4's combat. The way that guillotine throws now home in on enemies and can be used to knock airborne foes out of the sky. The way you're now more encouraged to use the environment to your advantage thanks to powered up flying swallows when you use them out of wall runs. How you can now use quick charge ultimate techniques right after landing from an Izuna drop or flying swallow. Or the way you can grapple up to zip up to a flying drone, leap off them, land a couple strikes on a flying enemy, and then literally yank them out of the air and pile drive them into the ground. That was so sick! This is exactly the kind of substantial, but ultimately iterative upgrade to the classic style of Ninja Gaiden's combat that I had hoped Ninja Gaiden 3 would be. Perhaps the thing I was most delighted about, though, was that Ninja Gaiden 4's boss battles, or at least the two that I've played so far, are excellent. Outside of a handful of exceptions, bosses have never really been a particularly strong suit of the series.
Yeah, but since like whatever the last Ninja Gaiden game that they made was, they've probably seen, or hopefully they have probably had their nose on the gaming industry as like a whole to see like what players like. And what I would guess is that players like bosses. They like fighting bosses and shit. They like doing combos, feeling invincible, doing a bunch of different moves, and then save all that like stupid big poise, hyper armor bullshit for like the bosses and stuff. All right, give me like some immaculate, badass boss fight. Okay, that is goated right there.
But right out of the gate, the first boss, a large samurai-clad enforcer, was a satisfying test of my skills, reflexes, and pattern recognition. It was an intense one-on-one fight against an enemy that was reactive to what I was doing. He would parry my attacks and follow up with a quick counterattack of his own. If I stood too far away, he would quickly close the distance and bring the aggression to me. He would sneak in unblockable attacks to simultaneously threaten and provide me with an opportunity to stun him by quickly hitting him with an attack out of Blood Raven stance. I was on the edge of my seat throughout the whole fight, and even when I died, I would catch myself smiling at how much fun I was having. The second boss was a little less traditional, as after our first encounter she fled, leaving me to chase her through a distorted demon hellscape, but the actual battle itself was no less impressive. She wielded a giant umbrella that she would twirl around continuously, forcing me to be precise with my blocks whenever she got close. Another thing I appreciate about both these fights were the grapple points that I could quickly use to zip out of the way, and then flying swallow right back to keep up the aggression. My demo gave me a ton of skills unlocked right from the start. And
what is kind of like weird is that I see like just on the HUD alone, like you got this up here, which is like I'd assume health and pots. But like, what is all this down here? Like, are these like modes that you like cycle through? You got a yellow bar that you fill up, a purple bar that you fill up, and what is this bar down here? Is this like the boss health, or like any of these tiny bars? Is this like stagger bars? I mean, I don't know.
And while that was very much appreciated in the sense that I had Ryu and Yakumo's full set of tools available for me to play around with, it also didn't give me a good sense of what the progression would be like in the full game, and how much of that arsenal do Ryu and Yakumo start off with, which is something that I am very much looking forward to figuring out once I get my hands on the full version. At the very least, I can say that the training and tutorial tools in Ninja Gaiden 4...
It's like, look at the level, dude. This is Ninja Gaiden. It's like cyber laser ninja. You're fighting in like a rave party, dude.
seem excellent. There's a full training mode where you can practice against customizable enemies. You're able to look back and get explainers with video on every technique that you've learned, full combo lists, the whole works.
Bro, imagine if they made a movie like this. This is like... They would never.
While the levels are linear and I didn't happen to find any golden scarabs or crystal skulls, there are still things to do and find off the beaten path. There are terminals throughout the level that come with submissions, such as defeat X number of enemies in Y location, or locate a number of creatures called Gordies that are gourd-shaped fiends that you can capture by completing a quick button press minigame. By far the coolest thing to find though are the combat challenge rooms, where you can actually set your health handicap and get a reward based on how hard you make the challenge for yourself.
Okay.
I loved the challenge rooms in the OG Ninja Gaiden 2, so I was super happy to see a form of them return. And the ability to essentially set your difficulty is a cool change that gives you an appropriate reward for the effort you put in. The currency you gain can be used to purchase items and abilities at the shop, but again, I didn't really have to engage with.
I feel like this is like a weird trend that's happening amongst like modern video games, and I don't know why, but like maybe the devs just want to like leave it out of their hands. But like, okay, so just recently I saw a Doom the Dark Ages like title update, whatever, and what they're doing is they're introducing like even more ways. What is it? They're adding like horde mode, but you can like customize the horde mode to like add more of like a type of enemy and like a timer or something like that on top of the already like infinitely, well, not infinitely, but like you can already control all the knickknacks about the difficulty of the game, projectile speed, damage you take, damage you deal, and all of that stuff. But now I hear this game is doing something kind of similar, where like it's like, okay, guy, like this is what the devs did. They're like, okay, guys, we have heard you for like the last 15, 20 years. We can't balance the hardest versions of our game. So what we're going to do, we're going to give the option to you guys to customize your own hard experience. And we're just going to let you completely customize your favorite version of the game with, I don't know what to call it. It's like they're giving the player all the power to like have like a completely customizable like new game plus run of whatever, or like mode. And I don't really know how to feel about that, because this would have, I mean, I just really don't, because like when I was a little kid, I was like stupid, and I like thought I was good at games, but like in retrospect, I really wasn't. But like this game isn't gonna be for like little kids, okay? I don't know. Maybe it could be a good thing that the devs start handing over the difficulty increase to the player to customize it. I'm not entirely sure.
This all that much in this preview build, since most of the things I needed were already provided to me. It's rare that you wait for a game for more than a decade and it finally comes and it seems to be everything you wanted and more.
Yeah.
But so far, Ninja Gaiden 4 is shaping up to be that game. October 21st can't come fast enough. Do you have any questions about Ninja Gaiden 4? Let me know in the comments, as I'm planning to do a follow-up to go through as many of them as I can. Thanks for watching, and for everything else, keep it here on IGN.
Damn, dude, that Ryu, when Ryu yells, it goes to your soul. Man, that's a good ass voice actor, dude. Hopefully they can come out with some baller because like just like with a little bit of sound I hear, like the sound to this game is absolutely sick. Hopefully they can come out with like some banger tracks on top of it. Jesus. They fucking dodged on. Oof. Bro, the sound of steel on steel. God damn, that's so good. That like the sword on sword, like ting, and it's like kind of heavy sounding. God damn. Bro, I cannot wait for that game. Like every subsequent little trailer, like this gotta be the last one. If I watch like another one like this, I'm just gonna ruin it for myself. Jesus. Whew. That shit looks good, dude. I cannot wait. But yeah. Looking forward to it. For sure. But yeah, that's it for me. I'll catch you guys on the next one. All right. Later.